Welcome to MarketSnap's daily market rundown. The AI trade is officially in a cold sweat, and today the market got a taste of what happens when the hype machine hits a speed bump. The Nasdaq got hammered, while the Dow actually managed to grind higher. A classic rotation story that's got everyone asking, is this just a healthy pullback or the start of something bigger? Let's start with the numbers. The S&P 500 slipped 0.45%. Closing near 7,504. The Nasdaq took the real hit, dropping 1.16% to 25,819 as the chip sell-off spread like wildfire. The Dow, on the other hand, was the outlier, gaining about 160 points to finish near 52,925. The Russell 2000 also fell, down 0.9% to 2,982. And the VIX, it popped 3.6% to 16.13, signaling that anxiety is creeping back in. So what's driving this divergence? It's all about the AI trade unwinding. The S&P 500 is still above its long-term trend, but the cracks are showing. We're seeing profit-taking in the high-flying names that led the historic Q2 rally, and there's growing skepticism about whether the AI spending spree is sustainable. The pain was concentrated in semiconductors. Intel cratered nearly 10%, while Marvell, Teradyne, and KLA all fell over 7%. SanDisk and Western Digital also got crushed, dropping 7% and 8% respectively. Even SpaceX, the new Nasdaq 100 member, slid nearly 7% as the quiet period ended and analysts started issuing coverage. But it wasn't all red. Energy stocks were the clear winners today, riding a geopolitical wave. ExxonMobil gained 3.8%, Shell jumped nearly 5%, and ConocoPhillips added 4.7%. Cloudflare surged over 8% after a bullish upgrade from Scotiabank, and Gilead Sciences climbed 5% on no specific news, just a flight to safety in healthcare. Among the megacaps, it was a mixed bag. Nvidia managed a slight 0.7% gain, but Apple slipped 0.6%, Tesla dropped 4%, and Micron fell 4.7%. Amazon was flat, while AT&T and Pfizer both saw modest gains, showing that defensive sectors are starting to get some love. The big story today wasn't just earnings fears, it was geopolitics. The U.S. revoked a license allowing Iran to sell oil after attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. That sent oil prices higher and energy stocks surging. The threat level in the strait was raised to severe, and the market is now pricing in a higher risk premium for crude. On the macro front, the U.S. trade deficit widened to $77.6 billion in May, the highest in over a year, driven by record goods imports. That's a headwind for GDP, but it also reflects strong domestic demand. Meanwhile, bond traders are watching for the Fed's June meeting minutes due Wednesday and a key wage growth tracker on Friday. The market is still betting on a rate hike later this year, even if the Fed stays pat in July. Looking at the weekly winners, Robinhood surged nearly 17% in the past week, Coinbase jumped almost 15%, and Palantir added over 10%. These are names that benefit from a more speculative, risk-on environment, but today's action suggests that momentum is shifting. On the flip side, the weekly losers are almost entirely semiconductor and AI-adjacent names. Corning dropped 18.7%, KLA fell 18.3%, and Teradyne lost 17.7%. This is a clear derating of the AI trade, and it's happening fast. Sector-wise, technology was the only sector in the green for the day, but just barely at 1.3%. Financial services and industrials also managed small gains. The worst performers were consumer defensive, real estate, and utilities, all down slightly. Earnings season is ramping up. This week, we'll hear from Nike, Constellation Brands, and General Mills. Next week, the big banks kick off with Bank of America on July 14th. The market is bracing for a reality check on AI spending, and the earnings calls will be the ultimate test. You can find exclusive earnings transcript summaries on MarketSnap. A few other notable stories. Amazon is raising at least $25 billion in a bond sale to fund AI infrastructure. Meta rolled out its first AI image generation model, Muse Image. And Michael Saylor's strategy sold over $200 million in Bitcoin for the first time since 2022, sparking debate about the future of the Bitcoin proxy trade. On the M&A front, Vertex is buying an endocrine treatment specialist for $10 billion, sending that stock up 99%. And the IPO market is heating up again, with obesity biotech Calahexis filing confidentially and Syntient, a semiconductor and software company, filing for a U.S. IPO. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in. The AI trade is getting tested, but the long-term story is still intact. Stay disciplined, keep your eyes on the earnings, and we'll see you tomorrow for another deep dive into the markets. Don't forget to check out our SWOT analyses for your favorite stocks.